Hello viewers, it's Ultimate553 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed. This is Reviewed number 32, and today I'm going to be reviewing Supergirl Season 1. So, Supergirl Season 1, I actually did not realize that I was going to do this. I thought, I mentioned that I would be doing TV show reviews in the first episode of this show. And in honor of the big crossover where Supergirl's going to be in the Flash and Arrow and everything like that, um, I thought it would be good to review it. So the first season of Supergirl, season 1, uh, I thought it was a really interesting new version of Supergirl. They had a movie in 1994 starring I can't actually remember the actress's name, but she actually plays Supergirl's mother or adopted mother on the show. Now this new edition of Supergirl is different. It's a modern take, and you have a different actress, of course, the beautiful Melissa Benoist plays Supergirl. Now, what's different about this show is that um, it's set in a in a different city than what I think I don't even actually know what city they chose for the original movie. It's set in the same universe as the Christopher Lee movies. Um, but it's set in National City, and it basically chronicles the adventures of Supergirl. It's the idea of that, same kind of idea with Clark Kent or Superman going to Earth. Kara Zor-El, her planet was dying, so is sent from Krypton to Earth, but her pod gets knocked off course, and by the time she basically arrives on Earth, her cousin Kal-El um, had already grown up to become Superman, as you know from the comics. Now we don't actually get to see Superman at all. We just see like little blurry images and silhouettes. Season 2 we get to see Superman fully, but in this one we don't actually get to see him. Sorry, my phone's going off. Um, we just get to see little glimpses of him. But this very new version of Supergirl is different in that it's mainly the costume, it's also the hair. So um, the way they redesigned it, they always when they're doing a new take on a superhero, they always try to make it more modern and everything. So basically, what it looks like is it's relatively the same idea. The skirt is a little different. Kind of has this like yellow kind of like kind of thing, kind of uh, a lip type, like a bow type, or I don't know. It's like a really more. It's a different kind of way. And then the one thing that changed between the original movie and this movie is the fact that the S logo it is actually not yellow like in the original comics. It isn't yellow because they're trying to make a modern approach on it. So what they did was they decided to make the S logo, the inside of the S logo, instead of having it yellow, they just made it with they literally put the same color as what's the rest of the outfit. Um, I like the outfit itself. It's very modernized. It's really good. It has like red lining out. It's a really nice nice suit. It's really well made. Um, Actually, Supergirl did appear in the TV show, and it was Smallville, which is a show I'm not gonna review because I haven't recently seen it, and I haven't seen it in like at least a year or so, so I wouldn't really be able to tell much. Um, but there was a Supergirl on that show, played by Laura Vandervoort, the beautiful Laura Vandervoort. She played a version of Supergirl, and she was more tough. She knew how to handle her powers, unlike Clark did. Unlike Clark Kent, he could not handle his powers. He actually the one thing he struggled with was flight in that show, and she could fly really well. Uh, but I mean, it's really cool because Laura Vandervoort actually plays a villain role in Supergirl is Indigo, which is this blue alien girl person. Um, Also, one thing I noticed from the character is that in the original comics and also the original movie from 1994, she has well, she's supposed to have blonde hair. However, the actress is not naturally blonde, so she dyed it, sort of. Um, so what happens is that it's kind of like Linda Lane from the original movie, starring, again, I can't remember the name of the actress who played it, but I know that she plays the adoptive mom on Supergirl. So we get really is a kind of a mixture between blonde and brown, which is a little strange. I keep seeing it I kept seeing in the show where like I think maybe it's the lighting that really only gives us a hint of that she's super that it's blonde, but like it really it I can see that it's brown like a little bit, like it's like mixed in. I didn't That's one thing I don't really like a lot about the character, is that she is mixture of blonde and brown. And I mean, some of the light make it look like she has blonde hair, but it really is kind of annoying. She also kind of when she so basically the idea is that she works at it's basically the kind of the idea of the intros from the Flash and Arrow, where or it's like, my name is so and so, this is my origin story, this is how I became me. um and so it was basically like to the outside world, or no, no, that's Flash. Um, to most people, I'm a how she intro goes is that it's like, to most people, I'm a assistant at Catco Worldwide Media, and that's a new thing. That's actually, I actually found out while watching Smallville that Catco is actually a company, in this show at least, but in the Smallville, in season 9 or 8 or 9, around that area, yeah, I think it was actually 8. We meet Cat Grant, this competitive journalist, who's trying to impress Clark Kent, at the Daily Planet. And that was the only time I actually saw her. Actually, she had two versions of her played. Um, and this is the first time where I actually, you know, I'm like, wow, this is a different version of Cat Grant. And not only that, but it's also, we get a better version. We get like a, where that came from, which is a company. So it's Cat Grant Worldwide Media, or Catco Worldwide Media, which is basically a rival of the Daily Planet, I'm guessing. I mean, I think there's a lot of rivals in the show, but that's just an example. The leader is Cat Grant, played by Felicia Clark or whatever. Married to Harrison Ford. Funny enough, she's like 20 years younger than him. Not kidding. She is. Like, I looked it up. The actress is literally about 20 years younger, or yeah, 20 years ish. Um, but so that's basically the idea, and then you have characters like Jimmy Olsen. He's played by a African American guy, and he's basically basically the same character as Jimmy Olsen. Of course, in this case he goes by James Olsen, but same character, same photograph, same photographer, close friends with Clark Kent. But I guess it's a different version of James Olsen. Jimmy Olsen, James Olsen, whatever, the same thing. Then you get a character that I was, well, at least his father was introduced to me via Smallville, and it was the Toyman, and I saw the Toyman on Smallville, while I was like, I wouldn't say growing up in the show, but I watched I watched all 10 seasons, and it was a good show. I still don't know if I'm gonna review that yet. I might. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna happen because of my memory. I would I'm not very good with memory on that, so I'm probably not gonna review it just because it's a movie. If it's a movie or TV show that I can't remember really well, then I'm not gonna review it because that's just a waste of time. Um, but he was a character on that. He was a villain of Superman. He was basically this creepy guy who like makes toys and puts bombs in them or whatever, and just terrorizes everything with toys, and it's just creepy. So the character of Winslow Winshot, but this character is Winslow Winshot Jr., so he's basically the son of Toymaker, or Toyman, whatever. So actually, he kind of seems to be a sort of love interest to Kara. In this version of the show, she knows Kara Danvers, and actually, the dad, the adopted dad, on the show was actually played by Dean Cain, who played a version who played Superman in the Adventures of Lois and Clark Superman, New Adventures of Superman. I never saw that show, but he played that. So basically, you get actors who played a role in a Superman uh movie slash TV show slash spin-off slash whatever. Um, basically, yeah, you get the idea. So, um, yeah, I mean, I like the idea, the designs, the characters are really good. Um, we get a little bit of a rivalry between Kara and James, and a new or Lucy Lane, who's basically the sister of Lois Lane from um the Superman comics. Also, she's beloved of Superman, and actually, or people who watched Smallville, she was actually I'm more used to the Eric Durance version of Lois Lane, and also the Margaret Robbie version. Um, wait, what am I saying? Margaret Kidder. I'm thinking Suicide Squad. Margaret Kidder. So yeah. And there's a big competition between those characters. Eventually, there's a point in the show where where Win actually confesses his love to Kara, but I guess it doesn't. She just can't accept it or something. I don't actually remember how it plays out, but it's been like that. You're like, I'm in love with you. I've always have been, and it makes me wonder if they're ever gonna have a love like a if Win and Kara are ever gonna get together. Although at the end of the season we have Kara kissing James for the first time, and that's like obviously she's in love with him. So yeah, also one character we get actually, well, she works for basically the idea of the show is that um she works for Catco Media, Warble Media, and in secret um she works with her adopted sister Alex. Alex, I think, yeah, Alex Danvers, for the DEO, basically the Department of Extraterrestrial Origin. Um, and so they protect she helps Kara protect the city from alien life and any other means that cause it harm. And it's the classic, I am whatever, I'm Supergirl, I'm the Flash, I am Green Arrow, whatever. Um, so yeah, and that's basically how it is. It's basically fighting new villains. It's a lot of, and there's a big character that actually has in the show, um, played by McCad Brook. No, yeah, McCad Brooks. He's actually a British actor, but he plays an American with American accent, which is very cool. So he plays Hank Hanshaw, also known as or he's secretly John Jones, Martian Manhunter from the original comics. And um, if you watched or sorry listened to the recent episode of Madhouse, we talked about the fact that, or Brennan talked about the fact that he doesn't actually like this version of Martian Manhunter. And actually, I feel like when DC or Marvel, when they make a new version, when they make like take a modern take on a character, they basically modernize it. And so, for example, with Martian Manhunter, which is actually really cool, like really nice motion graphics, CGI, whatever. So in the comics, well, I don't read the comics, but in the animated series at least, I kind of seen a little bit of that. Martian Manhunter, there's the little red X, the kind of the red X that kind of goes like a big band like that, like it's like a big band thing. That kind of goes like that. In the show, it's basically like this. It's basically uh uh it's basically like that. It's really it isn't actually crossed. It's just like modernized version of it, which is interesting. And actually, I do like Martian Manhunter, because when she finally finds out who he is, it's just like what. Um, but yeah, she faces off against some pretty interesting villains. Um, I don't none that I've really seen before. I mean, she'll face off against Kryptonians, and honestly, I never actually don't even know any of the villains there are. There is one villain that I didn't that looks that's pretty much the DC equivalent to Vision from the event from Avengers: Age of Ultron and Captain America: Civil War. And that's Mary Tornado. He basically looks the exact same, or basically has the similar look to the Vision, little cape and kind of oval face town thing, sort of. He's red and yeah, it's a really cool villain. Um, there's also a really cool crossover that happens in this first season. So um, there was the idea of having Supergirl exist in the same universe as the Flash and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, but that couldn't happen actually at the time that they were making it. So what happened is that it's like, oh well, we want Supergirl to exist to come and cross over with the Flash, and they're like, oh well, that wouldn't really work so well because they're on different networks. Uh, but eventually they got it to a point where they could come to agreement where they could do that, and they had a crossover episode where it was um, Grant Gustin's Flash appear on Supergirl, and it was really cool. It's like the idea. It's just the idea because the Flash could travel. He can run so fast that he can travel through dimensions and stuff. So he traveled through the episode. He travels through dimensions, and I have I found the matching episode that it came from. It was an episode. I think it was an episode of season 2 Flash where it was actually a point in the episode where you actually see that Barry goes through a wormhole, and you can see that it's the exact shape and size as the one that he goes through. It comes through from in Supergirl, the beginning of the episode, of the crossover episode. Um, so that was really awesome, and I really enjoyed that. It really was awesome because it basically travels from another universe, and that's how they made it happen. Um, so that was really cool to see him interact with Supergirl and meet him for the first time. That was really cool. I really loved that. I loved how it matched up because in the episode where he where he basically tests out his speed, he wears this little clamp thing on his emblem, and it's the same clamp that he wears in the crossover, and that's really awesome. So I really love that part. I just loved it so much. It was so cool. Um, so yeah, in that actually episode, there's a girl that Win is like dating or something. I guess that's the idea. Um, so what happens is that she kind of gets really jealous of Kara because she's like taking over her job or whatever. So she becomes Banshee. Um, and she gets like a makeover. She gets all this makeup on her. The makeup looks like evil. She makes it like a skull makeup. It's really creepy. Uh, but it's basically that, and also I think it's well, I think it's still actually. I think it's still a Banshee, and also, and then there's also I don't Livewire. I was forgetting what it was. Livewire, and then so Livewire is a villain that they frequently encounter, and they appeared they teamed up to fight Supergirl, who at the time happened to have the Flash with him, and of course that's actually my favorite episode of the entire show is when the Flash comes to National City via Dimensions, and he tells them about like how he got there and how they really weird encounter, and it was just amazing to see them interact. It was so cool because we I mean just like I just loved it. I thought it was amazing. Because like Barry's not used to having like eat my meat's kind of grad. That was just the weirdest thing ever. He's like suddenly, actually, she makes a direct pun to it where it's like you look like the um non you look like the attractive yet non-threatening cast of a CW show. Who are you? I'm pretty sure that's how it went. It was pretty funny. Um, but yeah, that was really that was my favorite part of the or that was my favorite episode of the entire show. Um, so overall, Supergirl season 1 was fantastic. There's one reference to other dimensions for like the Flash. When Kara goes to um, basically the equivalent of Superman's Fortress of Solitude, either that or the same exact place. She goes to this the, to basically her version of solitude and finds these like little platform thingies that like have things on it, and one of the things is a Legion ring, which also appeared on the Flash. So we can understand that that is a reference, not in the same universe, but reference, and hopefully because of Flashpoints, uh, there's a whole idea of well, Supergirl's gonna appear in the crossover episode, Superhero Fight Club, which means that because of Flashpoint, maybe that is because her Earth is now merging with Flash's and Arrow and Legend tomorrow. I don't know. Hopefully that'll be true because there's no explanation. So yeah, overall, I really think that Supergirl season 1 was fantastic. I'm looking forward to the second season, and it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. Overall, it's a great show. It's a great modern take on it. Um, my the pros, better. It's better. Well, people saying that the original movie was terrible. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was good, but I also think it was like great. I thought it was okay. It was like so and so. It was not bad. At least it's not as bad as Superman 4, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I thought it was really really good. I thought the actress who play or at the time that she played the actress that she played Supergirl, she looked amazing. Well, she's older now, but yeah. I thought the original movie was good, and the new take on Supergirl is fantastic. I do like the, I do, I'm getting used to the whole not having the yellow in the logo. That's just new for me. I'm also getting a little annoyed with the whole hair thing, and I also like the fact that she has glasses just like Clark, and her hair's always in a ponytail, which is adorable. But also she has the kind of glasses that are reminiscent of Superman and Clark Kent. So yeah, honestly, pros good visual effects, the flight, seeing her fly and everything. I was fantastic. I love that. I love how we see some of the powers that we see from like Smallville and everything, the heat vision. It's more detailed. I did like the heat vision from Smallville, but I like this also. It's really good. And it's just really really well done. And I really really like it. Um, so yeah, and I think the extra vision or whatever is also really well done. It's kind of the same thing, sort of as well. It almost I think it's either I think when I first saw heard of the extra vision, I was surprised because it almost sounds exactly like the sound effect that they use for when Clark Kent does it in in Smallville, which is really cool. So pros again, visual effects are amazing. The special effects are amazing. The characters are really awesome. Cons, honestly, I think it's just the whole hair thing that just kind of bothers me. Where in certain in certain lighting it's blonde, and in certain well, of course when she's Supergirl, but in certain lighting it's kind of a mixture between the two. It's just kind of like, eh. I don't mind the costume. I think it's really well done. I was a little I was a little surprised when they didn't add the yellow into the costume like it should be, like the yellow into the background of the S. That was not there. And I get it. It's a new take on the hero. It's a modern show. They're trying to make it visually nice. I like Martian Manhunter a lot. Thought his character was really cool. I love the villain and Indigo played by Laura Vandervoort. That was really awesome. There's a lot of great villains that we get to see her fight. Yeah. So honestly, great show. Pros, like I said before, those things, and then the cons are just like the hair and a little bit of the costume. I just was a little shocked at first. Um, but yeah, and also there's a little nod to Superman 3 where Red Kryptonite basically makes Kara go apeshit, and she acts exactly like Clark or like Superman did in Superman 3, where he went apeshit and decided to look like he decided to become evil and everything. So I like the nod there. Um, but yeah, it's a great show, and I'm really glad it was produced, and I'm glad it's on the CW now because they were like, oh no, we're gonna have to cancel it, and or they were actually in the idea of canceling it, and now it's not canceling it. They're just moving over to CW, which means that they can have a whole crossover. the same network. So yeah, honestly, I really like it. Supergirl was fantastic. I love the intros. The little girl that plays Kara in the flashbacks and everything. She's adorable. I want her as my little sister. um, but yeah, I also look forward to season 2 for Superman because I saw the first clip of him in flight with Supergirl and it was just amazing. So yeah, anyway, I think that'll do it for this episode. Going on for quite a while here. Sorry, I try to make my review shorter, but it happens. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for watching this episode of Reviewed. Uh, if you liked it, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more of these. And yeah, I will see you next time for the next episode. And this was Supergirl season 1, a really really good show. I think you should check it out. It's on Netflix. And yeah, fantastic show. I really liked it. So yeah, okay, that'll do it. See ya.